In what would be an historic move, the Australian government is expected to give Kiwis living across the Tasman a pathway to citizenship.
Prime Minister Chris Hipkins is heading to Brisbane tomorrow to meet with his Australian counterpart.
But a 501 deportee sent back here in his 60s says there's more Australia needs to do. Political reporter Amelia Wade has the details.
Trauma haunts Adrian Solomon Mairi.
Christmas Island. Oh.
He spent 2 years in the Australian detention centre.
A lot of the Iranian refugee people, boat people and things like that, they were setting themselves on fire.
It nearly broke his spirit and his body.
I walked onto Christmas Island. I came off Christmas Island in a wheelchair.
Adrian moved to Australia when he was 27. Decades later, he broke the law.
I broke an intervention order. That's all it was.
Australia's softened the 501 policy, but thousands are still affected.
Statistically, I believe it's just over 20,000 New Zealand citizens who've resided in Australia for long periods of time that could be placed through the deportation.
Advocate Philippa Payne wants the Australian government to give deportees their full pensions. Adrian could only access 10 grand of his 90k super pile.
It would be one of the number one hugest impacts that Australia could actually allow to happen.
Ultimately, the conversations that I'll be having are around New Zealanders rather than the 501 policy in general. That's ultimately a matter for Australia.
The Prime Minister is heading across the ditch to meet with his Australian counterpart this weekend. And it's widely expected the Australians are about to announce they're going to make it easier for the 700,000 Kiwis living there to get citizenship. Citizenship would mean Kiwis like Adrian aren't so easily deported, and they can vote and have easier access to benefits.
They are in this kind of state of suspended temporariness, so they're permanently temporary in Australia.
They've abused us continuously, and it's time for them to say sorry.
An apology from the Australian government because advocates say the citizenship changes will come too late for many. Amelia Wade, Newshub.